sorry ass DJ.
Get some.
Many spend their days passively searching for something interesting to do. Others dig in and find it. While nothing is certain, anything is possible. And the anticipation leads you into action. Because it's here that adventures begin. Stories are unearthed. Secrets are revealed. Fortunes are found. Mysteries are solved. And the past is brought to life. Nothing valued is ever lost. It's simply waiting to be discovered. So here's the question. What are you looking for?
Metal detecting, simplified for newcomers. Exceptional stability in salt water. Waterproof up to 16 feet. Impressive depth and discrimination, similar to a high-end detector. All for an unbeatable price. Score, multi-frequency for all.
Thursday. It's 8 o'clock and it's the Big Detective Show. Can I pet that dog?
Dear, all right?
I'm all right, darling. How are you? I was a bit too close.
I feel all right. Yeah.
Feel all right.
You good? Yeah, I'm very good, thank you.
Mint.
Oh,
Bit of a downer at the start of the week, but back to health now.
you didn't tell me that earlier. Well, let's hope that you...
That's because you had to disappear.
I did have to disappear. I had lighting issues tonight. Technological
What was I
issues.
going to say to you then? I had a delightful day with the boy in Manchester, Bolton, on Saturday at the Awakenings Expo. Mark Colley, absolutely phenomenal. He captivated and had everybody in the palm of his hand. If anybody wants to see, I've done 2 short interviews, one with Mark Colley and one with the organizer, Steve Mera. If you go... What's Badger and Saddlemaker?
Hello, Donna.
Hello, Lady Martin.
Got your messages. Sorry, I'm busy.
If you go onto the Big Detecting Show YouTube channel, not the Peaky Finders, the Big Detecting Show one, there's 2 videos that will keep you occupied for 12 minutes on there. One that gives an overview of the weekend, what it's about. Mark Colley being Mark Colley. You'd have loved it, to be honest, Mark Colley one.
Yeah, I'll watch that tonight, actually, because he encapsulates the audience, doesn't he? He's like,
he did.
Medieval Paul McKenna.
You see the coat he had on as well. He was more Dumbledore than Paul McKenna. And there was a guy on called Barry Fitzpatrick, who I've heard of because of his work with Steve, but I've never actually heard speak before. And I said to him, tell you what, mate, can you ring me up about 9 o'clock tomorrow night and read me a bedtime story? What a voice. No, not in that way. Just in a
video chat.
Sleep way. Lovely, man.
You laying there naked. Yeah, because I messaged you Saturday, didn't I? Because I forgot about it, that you were going with a boy.
Yes.
Yeah.
He loved it. He loved it, and he was going around getting free stuff off everyone.
That's what. Well, the
Gary Cook, I'll be sending you the link in a little bit.
Evening. Who?
Gary Cook.
Don't know. Yes, because we've had. Have you had bad rain? Like today? No. Frozen. No, he hasn't.
I was joking.
Yes,
terrible.
Yeah, because we had it bad last weekend. Luckily, Saturday. Oh, do you know what? I loved it. So I had to text in Saturday, and it was spitting and a bit windy and not great. And then got in the car about 4 o'clock, peed it down, and I'm like, yes, got in my car, and I've had a good day's detecting. I've told you that coin I found, which I'll talk to Jules about that. No, not Daz. Manticore.
There it is.
With my little played with settings, went on a field that we called.
Which I'd like you to send me, because I've decided next time I go out, I'm going to half the day on a field without anything and half the day with somebody else's settings.
I'm not going to give them to you because you should just stick with what you got at the moment, your Ferris settings. But who's going to be the first in the chat? Yes, Donna, it rained here all day in East Anglia and it was flooded, and I drove my car through a flood, and I don't know how the hell it's still driving. But who's the first to guess what that is?
It's Coin Man.
What type of coin?
That's Anglo-Saxon coin.
And I have not cleaned that. Look how blinking shiny that is.
Well, you can keep an eye. You can keep an eye on the hurdy-gurdy, because I ain't got a clue what it is, because I'm me.
Nick Berry, hi Nick. Paul Tongue, yeah. Tilby Penny.
What?
And Tilby Penny.
I'm not going to ask, and I'm going to write it down in my research notes.
Named after the hoard found in 1807 in Tilby near Lancashire, where they found over 6,000, but then it was 5,800. But there's a bit of a story behind that. But yeah, I've just written an article on it for Treasure Hunting magazine. Very, very. The farm owner's dad was Tennyson, who wrote Charge of the Light Brigade, and the farm owner's friend was a botanist on Captain Cook's mission, and it is just such an interesting story on this hoard. That's not part of the hoard. But what's interesting is that's one of my favourite finds for a long time because it's such good condition. But it's from the field that doesn't give, and we had a fair bit off of it on Saturday. So yeah, I was well chuffed with that, and I've done a lot of research on it. So Henry II, Tilby Penny, yeah, well done, Daniel. Yeah, Henry II, and Dave's found. Is that a fibula? It is,
Yeah, man.
isn't it? Yeah. What is it? What is it? I can find a 177 pellet 6 inches down. I can find gold staters, nobles, hammered. I can find anything. I literally a bit crotal bells. I find everything, but blinking fibulas of Roman coins, loads of them. Romans,
Adrian,
right?
Obviously, I'm a better detectorist than you. Know my settings on.
Well, I wouldn't mind, but fibula's not exactly small, is it? And I've got broken ones. I know why, because God's looking down on me and he's saying, Adrian, just be patient because you are going to find the world's best golden fibula. I know it. I will. I'm hoping. He says 5 years since I found it.
No such thing as God.
Well, there is if he helps me find a fibula.
Shall we bring
Anyway.
tonight's guest on? Hello, Mr. Evan-Hart. How are you?
Hello there. Good evening to the Big Detecting Show team and to all you ladies and gents out there wigging in now. Hope we're looking forward to a really good evening of fine banter and just good chatting. Like the Tilby Penny, Adrian, like the Tilby Penny.
Yeah,
Julian, are you actually on the wrong show there?
No, he's just very nice talking about us. He's very nice.
Oh, yeah, sorry, you caught me out there, Dave. You know, not tuned in for sarcasm quite yet.
I'll give you another 2 minutes.
That's it, mate. Brilliant stuff.
Whilst you're there, Jules, I just want to say hello to Bob and Joe Hance, who are listening from Melbourne, Australia tonight. They listened last week, and it's live for them. It's 7 o'clock in the morning. So, hi, Bob and Joe, and thank you for getting up early.
Hi, Bob and Joe.
Yeah,
and it's horrible.
We do appreciate every single one of the viewers and the listeners. So, thank you for tuning in. We do appreciate it, and we don't take people for granted.
And we've got Andrew T.
Obviously, him and
me. Andrew T from Canada. Hello, Andrew. Thank you for joining the show.
Canada.
Right. We could be English. But Valley Rallies. Hi, Julian. Hiya. Your book is fantastic, mate. Love it.
Which one?
Thank you very much, mate.
Which one? Yes.
Which one? There's 32.
There's one that's been published since this last. I think.
Adrian,
what happens?
Adrian, do you reckon Andrew's got his new book yet?
Is Andrew in the chat?
Andrew, you there? Ange, have you got his new book yet?
Dave, could you make the screen big? Because that QR code, I don't know where it takes people. Let's just hope it's not something inappropriate. Those who are listening on the podcast, there's a QR code on the screen, and if you scan it, that's okay. It takes you to Julian's website, My Detecting Life, and on there it's got all about him and stuff.
Thank you for designing that, Adrian. That's brilliant, mate. Brilliant.
But Jules has got multiple books, and since your last book, My Detecting Life, Jules, which we'll get onto shortly, there's been another one, hasn't there?
Yeah, I seem to have popped 2 out this year. I mean, I'll turn the camera around. That end of the bookshelf, 1, 2, 3 sections down. That's all mine. Don't know how I've done it, really, because I hated English at school. My English teacher always said you never amount to much. She's probably quite true, as a matter of fact, but I've written a fair few detecting books, and for me, that's what life's all about. But yeah, the most recent one I co-authored with a fabulous gentleman called Tim Heath. He's a war historian like myself, travels all over the world and looks at battle scenes. And between us, we projected on this book. Took us 3 years. And there's some amazing stuff in there. Bloke in France, I believe I'm right, Tim will probably correct me, but went metal detecting and he found 2 shell cases from the big Bertha gun. And they are like 1.5 yards high by 1 yard thick. And when he found them in the field, he didn't really know what they were, but they are the only 2 that exist in the world. And again, just a tiny example to show how good this hobby is. I've got the actual book here, like a Blue Peter. Here's one I made. I don't know if you can see it. It's called Military Archaeology. Not even I can read it there, but yeah.
Metal detectorists and major finds improve our understanding of history.
Which I think is Tim come up with the text on the cover. And Tim's a detectorist as well. And I think you can tell by the way he worded that. Because, you know, I've always believed one of the biggest things in this hobby is sharing your experience. If you don't share it and you've got a drawer full of finds, arguably, you know, there's no real benefit to anybody. But if you do a bit of research, just share your experiences. You know, if you come across something a bit weird or something like that, blow it out in the hobby and share it and see people say, yeah, do you know what, mate? I've experienced the same category of thing. But back to the military book, it's just packed full of stuff. I mean, Tim is a remarkable fellow full of life experience as well as a great author, and it was a real privilege to work for him. And now we've produced this book, and you know, we both sat back and thought, right, next project, and there will be a next project, I can promise you that. Not quite sure what it's going to be, but it'll be along the lines of warfare or aircraft or, you know, bombs, bullets, and the usual things that detectorists come across. But I read it through a couple of times, and I've read it through since I've had the copy from publishers. And yeah, we're well chuffed with that, I must admit. It's something I've always wanted to do, a war-themed thing. I've done lots of books on Bomber Command and the Luftwaffe, all linked with metal detecting, but I've never done anything that's general. So there's something in there for everybody. There's aircraft, Zeppelins, land warfare, you know, just absolutely everything, with a sort of codicil on paying respects to obviously different countries' rules and regulations, which particularly with military side of things, is absolutely imperative that you do.
Yeah, no, and sorry, Dave.
I was just going to say, and of course, it's not just metal detectorists that find things, because 3,000 people are currently not at home in Plymouth after a World War II bomb was found.
Yeah, funny that. I in the other book that we'll talk about in the future, I actually knew a Luftwaffe pilot who was on several Plymouth raids and later got shot down. But I'll say more about that later on. But so when I saw that, I thought, I wonder, could it have been, bless him, he passed away about 5 years ago now. But he came over to England, met him a couple of times, took him back to the crash site of his aircraft. And I looked at that bomb and I thought, do you know what? Wouldn't that just be fate if that's one of the ones that he dropped over Plymouth? Amazing.
That would be quite, yeah. I've just realised, Dave, for those who are watching overseas and don't know who Jules is, I don't know, Jules, if you just a brief introduction.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, of course. Yeah. Right, my name's Jules, as you can gather, 52 years old. Sounds like a job interview, doesn't it? 52? I lied, I'm 62. Oh, God.
Gotta say, God, I look good for 49.
I said, what a liar, right? Been a detectorist for 52 years. So I started when I was about 10, authored about 32, 34 books. Currently, I'm the editor of Treasure Hunting magazine. And me and my partner, Lisa, well, we try and get out and detect as much as we can most weekends. And it's just, it's been my life. Probably cost me 3 divorces. But we won't go into that subject unless anyone particularly wants any marital advice, which I would advise you don't come to me about. I know a little bit about metal detecting, and I'll say a little bit because in 52 years, there's no such thing as an expert. I'm learning every single day, and it's brilliant. But yeah, it's a real obsession. So that's me, sort of in a large nutshell, really.
Yeah, there's a lot more to it, and if you scan this QR code or go to mydetectinglife.co.uk, that's mydetectinglife.co.uk, Jules has written a book, and it's a great book. It's on Amazon, and someone in the chat, which if you have bought it, make sure that you leave an Amazon review, because we all get those emails that says we're happy, and we always ignore it. But Jules, bless him, has spent many hours and in
No,
blood
it's
and
really,
sweat
really
writing this.
appreciated on Amazon.
But-
You know, but I think I've got 10 reviews on it at the moment. 9 are 4-star or 5-star. One bloke said it's a good cure for insomnia, but I probably have a good idea who that is, and gave me 3 stars on a bad report. But hey, do you know what? Actually, I look at that report and I just think, geez, you really are. It makes me laugh. So I think, yeah, fine. You probably had the wrong effect on that.
You should have published it in China, where you probably would have got about 4,000 5-star reviews now. JP Cars has commented in the chat, best book he's ever read.
Oh, thank
which
you
is
very
lovely.
much. I'll
He's
tell you what,
just
as an
started
author,
secondary school.
brilliant.
No,
Thank you so much for that. As an author, I'll tell you now, you cannot get higher accolade or praise than when somebody says something like that. Because, you know, you can think your own product is good, and most authors do, be they right or wrong. When I finished drafting
I thought mine was shit, and I was right.
This leads me on to another thing as well. I would encourage everybody to write their autobiography, not for publishing, because not being funny, marketability, the vast majority probably won't be. But what a gemstone to leave through. I taught in my research over 40 years. Oh, yeah, Grandad, he was in the Desert Rats, but never said anything. Didn't talk about it at all. Died. And I get this all the time, and I'm thinking, if only you do that, just as a little passport for your families, so nobody in the future will ever have to say, well, what is it Grandad or Grandma actually did? They went around a field with a detector. Yeah, but what did they find? And if you don't record it or share it, I would say write everything down, not necessarily with a view to publishing, but for the future.
Yeah.
I mean, what a godsend to leave.
Social history, isn't it?
It saves on genealogy, you know, where people now have to go, oh, what did they do? You'll be the one person in that genealogical research with all the photographs. I did this. Cheers, guys. You know, 200 years' time, how valuable would that be?
Well, the thing is, we're making history now. And
absolutely.
It wasn't until, I lost my parents the last couple of years. I thought, all I've got is cine films, which I've got to get put on whatever, USB or whatever, and photos. But my kids, hopefully, will, if they want to, very much doubt it, but they can go on YouTube and look back at this show.
Yeah.
Not a doubt they will, because they'll say things like, "What does fellatio mean?" Do you know what I mean? And stuff like that. But
my dad keep laughing at Shaft.
But you know what? It's about giving them the opportunity to do so. If you don't give them the opportunity, they can never have it. But if you give it to them, then the option is to chase up Dad's history or not, as the case may be. But if you don't leave it to them, they don't have that option.
Well, it's fun. It's funny you're saying about Desert Rats, because a girl I work with, I was chatting with her. What?
Hi, Jules. Have you wrote anything on World War II glider engines? As after last week's show, Adrian is very interested in their history. Best, Will.
He got me on that one, Will. You blinking monkey. Donna Martin, also The Accidental Detectorist, is also another very good book. Very good book.
Sorry, Adrian, did you just say Donna Martin?
No.
Did you just say Donna? You did say Donna Martin, didn't you?
Yes, I did say Donna Martin.
Yeah, I'm sure you did say Donna Martin. Do you know why?
Oh, gosh. Oh, my Lord. She's left us a message.
We need more messages from anonymous people called Donna and other people.
This is England calling. This is England calling.
Can you hear it?
This is England calling. Badger, will you put the bally book down? Lady Martin reporting here. Out detecting yesterday with Cousin Stuart, you know, aka Prince Andrew. Jolly good time, marvellous soil conditions, beautifully flat, rolled. Wading through a few human remains though.
Wait.
Bit of annoying. Got to pick all of those up. So bagged a lot. Interestingly, 2 bow brooches, 2 Saxon brooches, a denarius, a beautiful Saxon hook, and a hanging bowl hook. Never seen one of those before. Big old thing. wouldn't fit in the old zipper. Bloody Prince Andrew left it on the field. Absolutely horrified. Have to go back and look for the bloody thing. In other news, 2 weeks ago, Mr. Cawood,
Tony Kane.
in the boiler room, thought he'd left without any further damage. JCB, to get the smash off the concrete. Found a little white poo under the hedge when I was gardening the other day. You tell Tony, please don't do that again. It's very unhygienic. Tally ho for now.
Thank you, Lady Martin.
And
Lady
that
Martin
just tells
was
you
on the
what
show.
type of viewers we have.
Well, Donna is museum person at Soham.
Archaeologist.
Archaeologist,
So
yeah.
curator.
Curator, yeah, I did want to say it, but people get funny with names. But Donna left a message on our bigdetectingshow.com website where you can leave a voicemail, and there's a cassette there that will record it and digitize it and put it on the show if you want to leave a message. You don't have to put your email address or anything, and it doesn't track your IP address. So you could be anywhere in the world, like my mate James is on the beach now reading Jules's book. So, and he's got.
Where is he? Where is he, eh?
Well, it's funny, Jules, because we were out detecting on Saturday, and I said, I'll see you next weekend. He went, yes, mate. Yeah, no worries. And then I texted him on Monday or Tuesday and said, you still all right for going out Saturday detecting? And he went, no. I was like, why? And he sent me a rude picture of fingers at drinking beer in Lanzarote, like you do. He does this. I'm sure he's on the run. But yeah, he's out there. But going back to Desert Rat, the girl I work with, her granddad was a desert rat, and she was telling me he was one of the really early ones. And they were fighting. I can't remember the story properly, but they were in the desert or somewhere, and they all got malaria or something, and his whole squadron died, and he was the only one to survive. But he's damaged his legs or something. In the Second World War, they flew his mum to France. Well, it's not funny about losing his legs, Dave. They flew his mum.
You done that and you got your emoji come up.
Oh, did I get me? They flew his her nan to France, and then she got a lorry trip to somewhere, and then she got on a boat with some Greek fishermen, and then they took her and they paid the British Army sent her out there to see her husband, and she flew back with him in a bomber. And the story, but she said a load of it's lost because it's all verbal, and the biggest mistake is her family. Hang on, how do I get this right? One part of her family married a German family, so they didn't really talk about the war a lot and all this. So she said it's all been lost. But I was like, oh my God, that's so interesting, the history behind it. But it's not on YouTube, is it? Or Facebook or anything. And like you say, Jules, I think writing your own autobiography or typing it on a computer would be better, because if you write it, you might lose it. But my dad started doing it before he died, actually. He started writing in a book certain things and little notes.
I'll be honest, I've started about 10 times and I just can't be arsed after a few minutes.
No, have your kids read your book, Jules? Or seen it?
I think. Well, they've all got it. As to whether they've all read it, probably, yeah, I think my daughter might have done. The two boys are only sort of like, 21 and 17, so they're a bit tetchy about it. But the oldest boy, he might have done. I'm not sure. But it's always difficult with family, isn't it? What do you think of my book? Puts them in the awkward spot. I haven't bloody read it,
It's fantastic, Dad, especially like the bit you're metal detecting.
But yeah, they know, because I spilt a few, not that I'm ever one to keep my mouth shut. I spilt a few boarding school stories and stuff I did while I was at boarding school. And so I was contacted by a couple of guys who saw it on the old school website. It popped up, and the lovely thing about that was that I haven't spoken to those guys for just under 50 years. But they saw it on the old school website and they thought, God, yeah, I remember that dick. Like that, and I was chatting away with them, and it was just brilliant. So it serves that sort of purpose as well. You can reconnect with people you know, a lot of my schoolmates just disappeared. They're not on social media, unfindable. But you know, the school newsletter going out in hard copy as well, to like something I think goes out to about 14,000 addresses. You know, it's brilliant. No, it's good stuff.
Sorry, school newsletter.
Yeah.
School newsletter. Your school
Keeps you updated on the latest rugby matches that they've played. I haven't played rugby for 50 years, so that's a bit iffy there. And what's going on in the school? You know, trips to Africa, and you know what they do, stuff like that.
So you still get your old school newsletter?
Yeah, you have to sort of ask for it. You know, they don't sort of hound you down and say, take this. But yeah, you can just go on the website and register, and they give you a newsletter. You can either have it hard copy or it comes through as email.
That's pretty cool. Is that a grammar school?
It was
Awesome.
the first year I went, which was 74. It was a public school, and then it lost.
I was born that.
Yeah, it lost it. Cheers, matey. And it lost its status for some reason and became just a normal comprehensive. So, but you know, it didn't. You know, it was just a place to go. But I boarded there. They don't do boarding anymore, though. I think kids have got weak now. You can only board for 2 days. You know, when I joined there, you weren't allowed to go home for 8 weeks because, you know, see your mum and dad because kids were crying and all this lot. But now they can board for 2 days, little weasels.
Allow into the chat to Neville Lake. It's his first time watching tonight. Thanks for joining us, Neville. We're here every week from 8 p.m. on a Thursday. So, right, we've first before I bring Gary Cook on and John Lydell, yeah, whatever. I've been sent a photograph and I've been asked, Julian, I know what it is. Do you know what it is? When I get there.
No. Oh, got Adrian's wall tonight.
Yeah, do you know what? It's like many things in this hobby and many things through the great cruise of life. I do, but I couldn't tell you what it is by name.
Well, I actually suggested it's an engine sprocket from a Hawker Siddeley 125. A little bit wrong. This is from Nick West. It's a World War I fuse setting tool.
Wow. How cool is that?
Only Nick could do that to me.
Yeah.
Right, mate?
So that's a World War I fuse setting tool and not an engine sprocket from a Hawker Siddeley 125.
Who sent that in?
Nick West.
West.
Nick. Yeah. Oh, what a fantastic thing to have on your mantelpiece. Yeah, I thought it was some
bit of
sort
mahogany.
Cheese. Oh, yeah, I thought it was some sort of cheese device. So, Jules, you will be still in the show, won't you, Dave?
Whatever you want, mate. Yeah, I'll go.
Jules here for the night. Gary's just coming on. He asked, could he pop on because he's got a bit of news. So, good evening, Gary. Good evening, John.
Evening. Hello. How you doing?
Hello, Gary.
You all right,
Connie,
Gary.
Gary.
All right, Gary.
Gary,
right.
Connie, yeah.
Hello.
Yeah, I can hear him.
Yeah.
You can hear me?
No.
Yeah. Dave can't.
Julian, you're supposed to play along.
Oh, sorry.
It's no good.
Jules, every time I come on, I have this phobia about computers and stuff. So they always wind me up and pretend that they can't hear me or see me or something. And then I end up disappearing for a few minutes.
John, belated happy birthday wishes for you for last week.
Yeah, thank you. That was
Oh,
good.
happy birthday, John.
We they actually gave me a cake last Saturday when we all went out detecting as a group. It was a bit of a surprise and I was a bit embarrassed, but
I like cake.
It was the Marshals, the RCM Marshals thank you weekend that
I
we
like
do
cake.
for all the Marshals. Adrian should have been with us, but he had other engagements.
I like cake.
Well, it's wet. So, yeah, no, I had a few family things to do.
You did.
But I did go detecting briefly on Saturday. But I think you had a good time, and it's nice, Gary, that you do that for all the marshals because without the marshals, there's not a rally. Simple.
They're the heart and soul. They're the heart and soul
Yeah.
of the RCM. And the thing is, as well, is they don't want anything for helping. They're brilliant. You know, they put in so much time over the weekend, and a lot of them are part of the organising group. So it's not just the weekend that they put all their time in. It's throughout the year getting ready for the rally and doing everything. So, they slog their guts out for the weekend, and the least we can do is give them a weekend where they can come relax and metal detect. They get a decent amount of land and they can just go out and have Saturday and Sunday, fill their boots and hopefully make some nice finds. And a few things come up, John. Ivy had a beautiful medieval dog spout, Jules. Is that right?
Yeah. Would you believe that we went out with Shane and what have you and had a medieval dog spout?
Well, that's exactly.
Well, I didn't.
Yeah, you know the one I mean, Jules, don't you? The
I do, mate. Yeah, they're beautiful. I love
medieval zoomorphic pouring spout.
They vary in quality. Sometimes you get a real dog with hair. Other times you just get like 2 cuts in the end of the spout.
This was a really nice one. Yeah,
brilliant.
Really nice one. And we had half a egg. Is it Egbert or
no?
Cut half Saxon
Collinwolf
penny.
Yeah.
Commonwealth.
And it's quite a few fibulas come up as well, apparently.
Yeah.
Hey? You might have had them.
I think you, Mr. Cook, are planting them for everyone in the country. Because at Rodney Cook, a lot of fibulas come up, and I blinking don't even find one. Last year, the year before. This year, if I don't find one.
There's a good chance this year because we're on a real good Roman area this year. So if you do
tell us more. It's a different site, Gary, is it?
Yeah, we've got a brand new site this year. Our amazing group of landowners have come up brilliantly again for us. We've just had all of the land finally confirmed last week.
Yeah,
last Friday, wasn't it? Me and John had the last of our meetings with the landowners, and I cannot speak highly enough of our network of landowners that we have. They all communicate between each other, and they they talk to each other, and we've got a very, very good site this year. And it's, I'm not saying anything, I don't want to put the kids to death on it, but it's a good site. Plenty of Roman activity, plenty of medieval activity. It's hopefully going to have another good RCM. The RCM normally has been very lucky with finds over the last few years. As Jules will tell you, he's been IDing quite a few of them over the years now for me, and we've had some great finds. So hopefully this year will be no exception. So it's near Bath. It's not far from the historic city of Bath, which is a very big Roman town, as you all know, with the Roman baths. Quite a few Roman roads that went into Bath, as you well know. So we're very close to Bath, and I'm not going to give away any more because I've got. He'll give me some nudges.
I'll start kicking him under the table, but yeah, I mean,
give him a dad like John.
We don't want to give anything away because I'm very pleased with the sites that we've got, because we're obviously we've got minibuses running again this year. We'll have gators. We've got a lovely big camp field. It's about 35 acres, the camp field. Flat level. The only thing we've got to worry about is if it carries on raining from now until September, but hopefully we're going to get some dry days. But yeah, it's
supply everyone with snorkels.
Yeah, it's we're very pleased this year that we've managed to get sort of tick a lot of the boxes that have been a struggle before. We've the camping field was very essential. We wanted a nice camping field this year. That came up trumps really, and the area is very good. So I mean, that's all we really want to say on that. We're doing a few things this year that we perhaps haven't done before. We're going to, because the camp field's nice and big, we're going to zone a few areas, and we're going to have a family area to keep the family groups away from the people that want to be a little bit noisy. If they want to be noisy, they're going to be further away. We are so we're having family group disabled area and the ladies area if they like, where they can camp in. The rest of the areas, the rest of the parking and camping will be when you turn up in your groups. If you want to be 10 people together or 20 people together, you come in together.
Oh, and there's Gary's technical difficulties.
Yeah. Because we just last year we struggled a bit with the sorting the parking out because the field was very wet, and we recognise where we need to do things slightly better. So we've got a very organised, or hopefully we'll have a very organised parking routine this year. But if people want to come in groups, they come in their groups together. There's a big holding area before the actual main camp field. So if people turn up, half an hour apart, they can all queue up and then actually enter the camping field in a group together. So it works out, hopefully.
We got lots of things planned as normal. We're hoping to have another reenactment group with us this year. Last year, the Roman reenactment group were an amazing success. The Ermine Street Guard, very, very well known throughout the country, and they were just incredible with what they did for us. But we're hoping to have.
You're having the Lady Boys of Bangkok this year, aren't you?
Something like that, yeah. No, we're hoping to have a Saxon reenactment group, and there will be a Saxon Viking skirmish going on throughout the weekend.
Well, that sounds good.
Yeah, so we're hoping that will come off. We have the headline act for the comedy night, and you won't be disappointed. And I'm not saying any more than that. I'm not going to give it away. But we do have the headline act confirmed for this year. So if you're going to bring your children into the marquee, do so at your own risk, because it is adult. It will be an adult.
Cool, Gary.
It's terms and conditions. Some of the entertainment.
It's him. If it's him, I'll be happy.
So I'm going to say
I want front row.
If you bring your under 16s into the main arena for the comedy night, do so at your own risk, because it will.
It's been a time, isn't it?
I think Tony Kaywood's running a creche, isn't he, Dave?
No, he's eating crepe pancakes.
He's only girls between 12. No, I shouldn't say this.
You can't say that. Gary, there's a few people ask what date it is, so they don't organise.
The dates for the RCM this year are Friday the 30th of August until Sunday the 1st of September. So setup day for us will be on the Thursday. So we will be there probably on site on the Wednesday, won't we, John?
Yeah,
I expect.
Wednesday.
But the gates will. It's no different to any other RCM. The gates will open at 11 a.m. in the morning for people to arrive. Set yourself up. Detecting will start from midday through, and there will be a nice big Friday field for anyone who's a weekender can detect on the Friday field, and then we will have our usual plethora of fields available for Saturday and Sunday. John did touch on it this year. The nature of the site this year will be that there will be a little bit of possible travelling between one set of fields and another. It's not very far, it's a very short distance, and we will probably have a small area where you can park your car if you wish to drive up there, and there'll be a parking marshal. But we will be running minibuses like we did last year. We will have 3 or 4 minibuses doing the circuit and being able to take people to and from the fields as and when they want to go, like we did last year, free of charge on the RCM, obviously. Jules, you'll be pleased to know that your gator will be roadworthy and road licensed, so you will be able to drive on the road, but please don't crash into anybody, Jules.
Adrian, I'll tell you what, that's really good, because I don't think
slow down.
We didn't take our gator on the road last year at all, did we, to the pub for the evening?
No.
I'll just, on that point, Gary, it's something which Rodney Cook can do and does do. And I, multiple times at the rally last year, year before, whatever, you get people who have been detecting like 50, 60 years in their 70s. And I picked up a few people and they've said, I love this rally because I can get to the fields. They queue up, get the minibus or get a gator back. And it's so nice because you've got how many fields are we looking at this year?
This year,
roughly?
probably somewhere around about 20. I would probably
So
say
20
maybe
fields.
25, depending on harvesting what's available.
And they can, some people struggle walking up hills and stuff like that, and get in the minibus, get dropped right off at the edge of the field, detect all day, get back in the minibus, and get back to their chalet or camp or whatever.
This year, we're having 4 minibuses, hopefully, 4 17-seater minibuses, which will be running all through the day, starting at 9 o'clock in the morning and going in a loop from fields all the way around. So you'll never really be that far away from any of the fields that you want to be in. Obviously, the bus stops will be up and running again, and we will be moving, 4 17-seater minibuses constantly throughout the weekend, getting people to and from the site. And as I say, and to ease up the queuing a little bit, we're looking at the possibility of having a couple of parking areas set aside around the site, so people, if they want to drive their cars off site and park up there and then come back, they can. That will be a possibility,
but not camper vans, caravans.
No, just cars, obviously.
Just cars only.
And we will be having drinking stations set on around the site as well. Marshall drinking stations where we will have free water again, like we always do. No alcohol, I'm afraid. But we will be supplying free water to everybody, like last year, because last year was exceptionally hot, and we were driving around the fields last year, just chucking bottles of water at people because they were like going out into the fields in like 30 degrees with no water, which I just, I don't really. Only mad dogs and Englishmen do that, don't they?
Gary, I've got 3 questions. What's the Wi-Fi like, or 3G, 4G, 5G?
4G.
Right. So 4G is fine. We've been there and checked it.
Okay.
We will have RCM Wi-Fi dongles, and you can bring your own dongle if you want and set your own Wi-Fi up. But you should be able to tap into ours, okay? But that's only limited.
Question number 2. That was just for obviously question number 2. Would you like a live Thursday night big detecting show?
Absolutely. Absolutely, mate. Let's do it live from
because I'm saying it now so somebody can book the extra day off and come down early.
I am 100%. I will be able to do that this year. I will be there on the Thursday night, and I'll tell you for why. Because Dave, put that finger down. There's always the panic, Gary, isn't there, of the ticket things and QR codes working at Gary's, and so. I drive down the M25. Last year, it took me like 4.5 hours because traffic was bad. So to come down on Thursday night, and we'll do the show from there Thursday night. I cannot wait. And
it's going to be a good one.
Those who've never been to Rodney Cook, which most have, we don't need to plug it because everyone knows it's great.
Our biggest plugger of the RCM is sat to my right, Mr. Julian Evan-Hart. He is a huge fan of the RCM.
Just a brief interlude to say thank you to everyone in RCM, from yourself down to the marshals, down to anyone who even thinks it's brilliant. I have the time of my life there, and so does Lisa. We just love it. You've got everything for us perfect, mate. How you've done it, I don't know, but you have. And no, I'm just wishing away my life until September. Yes, no.
But we all started doing that last September.
Yeah.
I look forward to going on holiday with my family, but on a par is going to the RCM, which is not right, really, but it is. It's a good community fun event. And I'm just warning everyone. Gary said that, well, the tickets, Gary, will... people who've already been before will get an email and a text on Monday.
We've got pre-sale tickets will be going out on Monday at 9 a.m. as you know, Adrian, because you sort all that stuff for us on the system. So anyone who my own son hero up there, anyone who has who came to the RCM last year, who came to the Weekender last year, and as long as you didn't tell us to remove your details, under GDPR law and everything else, as long as we have your details on the system and you're on our mailing list, then you will receive an email on Monday. And am I right, Adrian? We're still doing the text messaging?
Yes, because Sorry, I just had a funny message come up on my computer. If you've got a Hotmail account or an Outlook account, they don't seem to like emails, not just from us, from a lot of people. So we're going to send everyone who gave a mobile number.
Yes, as long as you left your number.
You will get a text. You'll get an email first, and then within probably half an hour, you'll get a text, your mobile. And the text will just say, RCM tickets now available, and a link. And you click on the link, and it will take you to the website. Now, my own, last year, tickets sold out in 5.5 hours, Gary?
5 hours. 5 hours.
5 hours. The year before, it was like 11. So this year, it's probably going to go very, very quick. So if you didn't go to Rodney Cook, you've never been and you want to go, just go to rodneycookmemorial.co.uk. That's rodneycookmemorial.co.uk. Bookmark it now in your browser, save it, and go there on Tuesday the 27th, 9 o'clock in the morning, and you will get the opportunity. Because even though people who have come get the email and text, I don't know what it is with people in this hobby. I've never known anything like it in my life. Some people only check their emails like once a week, and then wonder why the tickets are sold out when they've checked their email. But there will be tickets.
Monday's the pre-sale. So anyone who came last year and is on our mailing list and put in their details, they will get a 24-hour chance to get a ticket. And they can get their tickets, and then 24 hours later, so the following morning, Tuesday the 27th at 9 a.m, they go on general release. And like Adrian said, last year was crazy. I think we crashed the internet 3 times, I think, Adrian, didn't we? The whole system went 3 times. And people were just literally hitting enter. And I remember you messaging me, Adrian, saying, "I can't believe what I'm watching. It's just going crazy."
Well, and what's lovely is this is all for charity.
Yeah,
which
it's all for charity.
Those who aren't watching or listening on the podcast wherever in the world. And last year, you raised, not yourself, Gary, but the Rodney Cook team and every detectorist who went. It was £108,000,
£103,000
in 1 year, in one weekend. 1 year for other events.
1 year with our other events, yeah.
And so far, it's nearly $500,000 in total.
It's not far off. Yeah, it's over 400,000. So we're getting very, very close to the $500,000 mark. I wouldn't, if things go well this year, then we will hit the 500,000.
Kane van der Heide, he asks, he's joined the show late, where is the RC Festival? That is in Wiltshire in the UK.
Yeah,
that's the last weekend in September this year.
Go to the website.
Adrian has updated all of the frequently asked questions. He's updated all of the information for this year. So by the time the tickets go on sale on Tuesday, all of the information that you will require will be on the website. We will also be posting up a list of hotels that people, if they want to stay and book a hotel, some hotels nearby. All of the hotels that we will put up on Tuesday, or Adrian will put up, will be no more than, say, 20 to 25 minute drive. Some of them will be 15 minutes. Some of them will only be a few miles away. And obviously, but be very quick with those as well, because believe it or not, a lot of the local hotels sell out during the RCM weekend, and people then start panicking that they have nowhere to stay. The tickets this year are £65 for a full adult weekend ticket, and that includes camping, all of the amenities, and all of the entertainment. So you will have live entertainment. The TV Comedy Store will be there Friday. We have live entertainment on Saturday. All of the amenities within the camp, all of the shower block. That also includes all of your bus rides, the showers, and everything else.
Can I have a shower with Adrian?
If you want to, mate. Yeah.
Well, Fodder Phil manages the showers. He's like the janitor. So last year, last year he had a drill with a bit about that big. He got thrown out. I don't know what it was, Gary. He said it was a and I said, "Why is it like 3 foot up?" And he said,
he kept saying glory, glory, glory. So
hallelujah. Maybe it's a religious thing, but
yeah. So for 65 quid, you get the full weekend to detect. So that's 3 days detecting. So that's Friday afternoon, Saturday and Sunday. You get all the entertainment. You get all your bus rides you can imagine that you want, all for free, taking you up and down the fields. That's all inclusive of the 65 quid. Obviously, your camping is inclusive of the 65 quid and all the entertainment. So, you tell me where you get 3 days detecting, entertainment, accommodate, all your camping facilities, live entertainment and free bus rides for 65 quid. You can't.
There's a few people asking what price is it for somebody coming with them non-detecting.
Can I just read
£65? It's the charity.
Shall I read those out, Gary? The prices.
Non-detecting guests are £10 for the weekend.
Shall I read them out, Gary? Shall I read? So
yeah, read them out, mate.
If you want to come on Saturday, which is a full day, it's £35. If you want to detect on the Sunday, it's £30 because it finishes a bit earlier, like a couple of hours earlier. If you want to come for the whole weekend, that's Friday, Saturday, Sunday. If you turn up in a tent, a camper van, a wigwam or whatever, it's £65 a person. If you want to turn up with your wife, and your wife is more than happy to spend her time with me or Dave, that is £10 for the whole weekend. They cannot detect. They cannot detect. If you have a child that is under 16 and wants to come for the whole weekend, that is £15. Am I not right, Dave?
That's it. And that's
£5 a day. Wow.
Yeah, bargain. And if you've got a child under 16, so your wife comes for £10, and you've got 8 children like Dave, you don't have to pay for the children, but you must book a ticket, and it's all on there. But it's free.
It's free. It's a free
children
charge.
under 16 free.
Yeah, it's effectively a ticket event. Obviously, you can't just turn up on the gate and pay. It's all like last year, so it's QR coded tickets. So you print. Now, this is the one thing I wanted to say, because we had so many people last year who booked their tickets and didn't bother reading what the actual Eventix website was saying. When you book your ticket, you save it or you download it onto your phone and put it in your wallet, or you download it and
hello, Moto.
And you download it, you put it into your wallet, or you download it and put it onto your computer, or you print it off. But what we can't have is people turning up on the morning like we had last year with any of their QR codes ready, because it holds up the queue. And
we'll make note of that. But I'll put that on when they book the tickets. But I think also they can see John as well at the weekend.
And I'll even bring Spank with me.
Can I please ask people to stop messaging me privately, asking me if I'm if they're on the subscribe list, or if they're on the list, because I can't check. I can't check. We can't afford. We cannot check if you're on. If you've subscribed, then you should know you've subscribed. If you bought a ticket last year,
boss is in the room. She's going to tell you.
Hi, Lisa.
Hello, everybody.
Hi, Lisa.
Yeah, we're getting loads and loads of emails asking us to check the mailing list. We're just inundated, and we do have jobs. So I'm sorry, we can't check hundreds and hundreds of emails, even though we love you all dearly. So we're not being rude. We just haven't got the time to check.
Adrian, she's being rude, but she can't hear us.
No. Lisa's right. If you just go to rodneycookmemorial.co.uk Tuesday morning at 9:00 and book the day off work, hide in the toilets on your phone, just sit there. The ticketing system won't crash. It's all got 900 servers running it. So if you're there 9:00 Tuesday morning, if you don't think you've registered, that's next Tuesday, 9:00 in the morning, go to work in the toilet, sit there and just book your tickets if you think you're not on the mailing list. So just do that. Or get Dave to do it for you. But
we would love to be able to check everybody, but we can. It's impossible. We at the end of the day, if you booked a ticket last year and you didn't click to uninscribe, or you didn't click wishing you don't want us to have your details, then yes, you will be, as long as you left us with a valid email. And the other thing is as well, to remember, if you've put an email address down last year and you stopped using that email address, we're not going to be able to email you because we're not.
Yeah,
we
get a lot of those.
Don't know what your new email address is.
I've got a new email account. You didn't email me. Well, no, that's a common one. That is. I used to have Hotmail. Now I've got Gmail. But anyway, Gary, thank you very much for coming.
Lisa,
with John.
Yes.
Lisa, if they come in the car, can they sleep in that and not pay for camping?
No.
No. Nice try though.
Right. Also, as well, just regarding the Rodney Cook, I think you spoke at length with James Bombs, who's going to be conducting a geophys of the site.
Yeah, he's going to come and do a little bit during the weekend, and so we've got that's quite new. He's going to be doing. He wants to show off his geophys machine. So the only thing I just need to double check is the landowners are happy with that. I haven't been able to speak to them about it yet, but I can't see them having any issues with it.
And also Nick West is bringing his Military Heritage Museum Roadshow down.
Yeah, Jules messaged me about a month ago and said to me, "Hey, bro, I've got this chap. He's a friend of mine. He'd like to come and bring his military stuff." But Jules is probably better off telling you all about him. He looks really good, doesn't he?
Yeah, I mean, this is something a good friend of mine, Nick, set up. It's purely on an educational basis to allow detectorists. Everything is inert. There's nothing dangerous there at all, of course. But it just gives you a real good broad pan view of what you can find in UK soil. And of course, you know, it's to do with military. Children love that sort of thing. And therefore, you can feed on the educational type of aspect, you know, allowing them to touch artillery shells and things like that. It's a great educational facility. So well done, Gary, for following that up. Brilliant.
Oh, I've told him he's more than welcome. I haven't spoken to him, actually had a proper chat with him yet. But I've explained to him how it works at the RCM. Obviously, we don't charge the traders any money for being there. We don't charge them for their pitch. It's all free for them. All we ask is that they make a donation or they contribute to the raffle. And that's their payment for us, really.
And he will also be bringing a lot, just so we all know and we're all aware, don't tell the people in the chat, but he's bringing Calvados.
Yes.
And I'll be bringing pineapple gum and I'll be bringing mead.
There's messages in the chat about, can I charge my detector? Is there food? Look, it's not until like 180, 90 days away. Gary will come on the show. So subscribe to the Big Detecting Show and Gary will come up.
We won't be having we won't be able to facilitate for people to charge all their
but all those sort of questions, if you go to rodneycookmemorial.co.uk, there's some videos on there which people have kindly done for the charity, and you can watch the videos and you can see that we've got Starlight Bar, which is one of my favorite bars ever in the world, and cheap. You've got burgers, you've got hot dogs, you've got pizza, you've got everything there. So if you just imagine it as a metal detecting fair, it is almost like that. You
don't forget to bring your items
not
for the
dealers,
charity.
Drug dealers.
Don't forget to bring your items for the charity Bring and Buy sale.
Yeah, there's the Bring and Buy sale. We'll be back. We've got new merchandise for 2024 as well. John, where's John gone?
Off the edge.
You're on the edge, John. Yeah.
We're all on the edge, John.
Your shoulder. No, we got new merchandise for 2024. So there will be new selection of clothing available for this year. So if anybody wants to buy any RCM merchandise throughout the weekend, we will have the merchandising team there. The charity girls will be with us from the RUH and Brighter Future. They will be joining us again throughout the weekend. With a few other things we've got planned as well, which you'll be able to do. Obviously, the token field will be back,
Hot tub.
and hot tubs.
Big Detecting Show awards.
The Big Detecting Show awards will be there again. Hopefully, if that's what you're planning on doing, by all means. You know, obviously, Treasure Hunting Magazine will be pride of place in the marquee again,
and your free edition of the Archaeology and Metal Detective magazine.
And the magazine will be up and running. So it's all systems go now. It really is. You know, with me and John, we've done our bit, haven't we, John? We've got the land sorted out. And,
We're down to Lisa now.
Yeah.
Keep us in order. That's the thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Hard
Crack
job.
away.
But we're hoping to have a few exciting surprises for you this year as well. So we're hoping to maybe, you know, put something new into the RCM like we try for you all every year.
Are you and
You know.
the surprises? Are you and John getting married?
Yeah, he's moving in with me.
This year, Gary, will you be wearing pants?
Pants? I don't know about that.
Okay.
No, it wouldn't be the RCM if I wasn't in shorts. I've got to wear shorts, always. Always wear shorts. I can't not have the jean shorts. It's what everybody knows me for at the RCM, isn't it? Let's be honest. So,
I wonder what that picture is in the background there.
I don't know.
I don't-
What's that picture?
Yeah.
What is it, Dave?
How
I
many
don't
years
know, but
now?
apparently they went to a legal team to try and get it removed from the internet. Just never.
It's just not right, that photograph.
Go on,
It's
Dave.
just
Show
not right.
everyone. Oh, Lisa's a lucky lady.
Could
And
be
John's
worse.
a-
Could be worse,
John-
Adrian. Adrian, it could be worse.
That's a very
But
bizarre
with the,
night. That was.
with the cinnamon off the chase.
That's a very bizarre night. That was.
Well, listen, Gary, Lisa, and John, thank you for coming on. We'll let you depart now, and we can
Yeah.
talk about you behind your. I mean, we can
Yeah.
continue talking to Mr. Evan-Hart.
Yeah, don't stress, everybody. You know, all the questions and frequently asked questions will be going up on the website. As I say, you know, we can't answer every question that gets put up. We've got personal lives to live as well. You know, we got houses to run and families to look after. We can't spend our whole time, you know, answering personal questions. And as much as we would love to, we're not being rude. It's just the fact that we get inundated and we have to draw a line somewhere. But all of the information that you will need will be on the website, because that man up to my top right-hand corner there, our webmaster, will sort it all out for us, won't you, Adrian?
He will.
Gary, Gary Robertson has said Lothian Relic Charity Digs are happy to donate some weekend camping tickets for Detective Mania 2024 this coming September.
Thank you so much, Gary. That is really kind. And me and John are hoping to join you at your dig, but you'll have to pick us up from the airport because we ain't driving all the way up to Scotland from Wiltshire.
And Adrian, Nick Berry said he's happy to help with the trophies again. Thank you very much.
Oh,
Nick.
bless him.
Adrian, is that an Essex Cricket Club top you've got on?
No, everyone says that. It is just Essex.
Okay, fair enough. I wasn't sure if it was Essex County Cricket Club.
No, I should wear a county cricket. I just if ever I get like blown up or something, they'll find a bit of my remnant. I don't want to end up in like Yorkshire or somewhere up north. So if I'm on holiday and something happens to me, they'll find me and go, "Oh, what's that mean?" They probably would think it was Turkey or something like that, but that's Essex. So CX, free CX.
Very well.
Before we go, guys, can I just say a big thank you to all the Gary put out a shout for some new marshals this year.
Oh,
because,
yes.
We obviously want a few more people to help us because it is a big event. And quite a few people have come forward to volunteer, and we've already signed a few people up to join the team. And hopefully we can, well done all of them, because it's
thank you so much.
We can assure you, if you're young, fit, and able, we will be working you hard that weekend, because
Lazo's out the window, right?
A lot older and a lot more
The
tired.
one thing I do need to say, just quickly though, with that is, if you become an RCM full-time marshal, please note there's no detecting for marshals over the course of the weekend. Only because the marshals are there to help the guests and to keep the RCM ticking over. And we don't allow marshals to metal detect whilst they've got their yellow jackets on and they're marshalling. So if you're a full-time marshal, you'll be doing shifts, there'll be rotas, and you'll get your downtime and everything else. But what you will get is a thank you from us, like we had last weekend, where anyone who works the shift over the weekend will get to come metal detecting with the RCM team at a designated place where you can detect at your leisure on land provided by the RCM as a big, big thank you. But just remember, if you're planning on applying to be a marshal, there's no part-time marshalling. It's full-time, or that's one thing I want to say, just in case people are thinking, oh, well, I'll marshal on the Friday, but then I'll detect on the Saturday and Sunday. No, we can't do that. It doesn't work that way, I'm afraid. All right.
Thanks, Gary. Thanks, John.
Gary, John, a pleasure to see you both.
Yes, John.
John, make sure Gary goes and takes you for a walk down to the local pub now to continue your birthday celebration.
Jules, I will give you a bell because we haven't had our monthly catch-up chat for a while, so we need.
Yeah, anytime, mate. Anytime. I'm always on the end of the call.
Early next week, mate, and we can put a couple of hours aside for a chat.
Too right, mate. Too right.
Lucky you, Jules.
All right, guys. Good to see you.
Take care.
See you, Gary.
Jules is gone. They've gone. Jules.
They've gone.
God, what? Tell you what.
Oh.
John can talk, can't he?
Do you know what got me?
Hell.
When John got up, I could have sworn he had a pair of Speedos on.
I think they might have been Gary's Speedos.
I think next year's big announcement is John and Gary are going to be part.
Oh, he's still here watching.
No, I think there's like they all said, we love the event and it is fantastic. And Jules, you'll be there. Jules, I think someone said in the chat, will you be there with your book and will you do book signings?
Yeah, can do. Yeah, it's not. I wasn't specifically planning to do that, because I haven't talked to Dan about it. But yeah, I'll almost 100%. Yeah, I'll bring along enough supply, and I'll do a signing for anyone that wants.
Yeah, that'd be really nice. But we all do look forward to Rodney Cook, and it's nice having it. I know for a fact my son had one of the best evenings. It was his first year at Rodney Cook last year, Jules, and as you know, you two. Your son and my son and
Adrian,
you.
I think he was a little bit jealous that we were raving and you were all sat in a pub drunk. We were having a proper good time, and he's like,
"Well, Jules and Tom got on very well, and we were the landlord came out the pub and he turned all the lights off and he said, "That's all right, leave your glasses there." And then we ended up with a bottle of wine and beer, and I think we were drinking till like 1 a.m. or something.
No,
but
brilliant, wasn't it?
And
Summer
then up at 7 detecting. But yeah, it's fantastic. And this year's land for Rodney Cook looks really good. And Treasure Hunting Magazine will be there, Greenlight Publishing with all the books. So if you want to get some good, and it's always good discount, isn't it, Jules?
Yeah, again, I don't know what the discounts are because Dan sorts all of that side out, but there will, I'm sure, be some really healthy discounts there.
Yeah, but it's. I think we'll get Gary on before the end of the show, before September, to talk about all the questions and answers.
Only once for 12 minutes.
Whilst Jules is here, has anyone got any questions for him about
I've got a question for him. See, we're talking about Essex. Hanson's released the information yesterday about the Braintree Hoard. Now, I know you've got an article that will be in the confines of Treasure Hunting magazine, but tell us what you know about that, mate.
Well, do you know, that was an interesting one, that, because although I live in Braintree and I normally keep my ear close to the ground, but I got a call from a press agency, and then I got a call from one of the editors and stuff, saying, "All right, Jules, because I do further stories for all the nationals on detecting," and he said, "What do you know, mate, about the Braintree Hoard?" And I thought, shall I tell a fib here, mate? And I thought, no. I said, "Nothing, mate. Why? What's up? What's happening?" And he goes, "Well, there's a big hoard being found in Braintree." And then 20 minutes after that, I got on really well with a couple of the staff at the auction house. And Rachel, one of them, sent me this email with the whole breakdown of the hoard. And she goes, "Oh, yeah, well, we're auctioning it on the 21st, I believe." And so I thought, well, and then it snowballed because one of the coins went for 30,000, including fees on top of the hammer price. But they were a hoard of, according to the PAS website, I believe 145 units consisting of coin fragments, cut halves, don't think there are any cut quarters, and whole coins. And the breakdown of that was the vast majority were Harold II, Harold Godwinson, and the remainers were Edward the Confessor, or Ted the Grass, as I like to call him. And the condition was phenomenal. And the interesting thing, there was one coin, I think, came on the market a couple of years ago, which Noonan's also dealt with, which was a Harold II Hastings mint. And you can imagine Harold II Hastings mint, I believe that coin sold for 20,000. The only other one to come on the market recently is this one. This went for 30. But the coins are in such, they're stunning condition. And the other interesting thing about the hoard, in the Matrix, there were, I saw 3 of them, Sudbury mint, Harold II's. And that mint wasn't known about until this hoard was found. So
wow.
That is critically important. And I believe all of those 3 examples were estimated at 4,000 to 5,000 and sold for, I believe, 6,500, 7,000 and 9,000. Wow. I think I might be wrong on that, but that's the prices that they were auctioned for. Absolutely phenomenal. Local museums, the Fitzwilliam in Cambridge and Colchester Museum, purchased 16 coins between them, but I don't know what those are. But as of yet, the finders are anonymous. Nobody knows who they are. So I anticipate from that, 1, that they want to, have their privacy respected, and 2, they might be distance detectorists who've got permission in Braintree, but they might live, a long way away. Because I say, normally I hear about most things, not everything, but something like that was kept under wraps for the best part of 5 years. It's just broken surface. But
I've just the press release of Noonan. It's just Noonan's now, isn't it?
Yeah, Noonan's.
The press release of Noonan's was put on the ArcMD mag last night. I've put that link on the YouTube and on the Facebook stream, so you can click on that just to read about that.
They're all good, all these auction houses, as long as you go to ones that, excuse me, who advertise in metal detecting magazines. So,
I think so.
And I had dealings with Noonan's last year, and I genuinely was blown away by the level of service and also the good commission rates and the professionalism of it all.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I've forgotten the chap at Noonan's. What's his name? Used to be a mudlarker. Nigel. He's
Nigel Mills.
Nigel Mills at Noonan's, who he was a detectorist mudlarker. Phenomenal.
Knock him up, get him on the show, Adrian.
I could actually. Yeah,
you will.
I will. He went to Brentwood Metal Detecting Club, and I met him over there last year in Essex. And every find that turned up, he goes, "Yep, I know what that is. Yep, I know what that is." And he was like giving free valuation. So, and the thing is, in this hobby, that prime example, right? That Tilby penny I found at the weekend, Jules. You can look on Spinks, anything from 100 quid to 450 quid. Goes to auction globally. There might be someone in Florida sitting there in their pants who's drunk a bottle of brandy. He might pay $2,000 for that. And it is so bizarre. Not that we want it to go overseas, but in a good auction house, you do stand a good chance of getting the best value if you want to sell your finds.
Yeah.
Well, we're talking about finds. We've actually got a video to play as well, a human interest story. One of our viewers, Stephen Brame, he's been on the regional news up in the Northwest this week about his find that we've spoken about previously. So I'm going to just roll VT.
And thanks for sharing that brilliant reaction. We love you.
I love everything about that video. Now we're going to go back to Armistice Day last year when a man with a metal detector made a remarkable discovery.
Yeah, Stephen Brame from Bacup in Lancashire unearthed a World War I service medal in a field in Accrington.
And after weeks of searching, he's managed to track down the soldier's great niece and reunite her with the medal, as Lucille Brobby now reports.
On Stephen's metal detecting adventures, he can find anything, from coins dating back to the 1700s to a Viking games piece. But when detecting in a field in Accrington on Armistice Day last year, he uncovered something different. A silver World War I service medal.
Honestly, I dug the hole and what came out was what I thought was a silver coin. It was only when I got home that I had to realise and clean it up that it was actually a medal. So yeah, it's unbelievable really to actually find a medal on Armistice Day.
After some research, Stephen and an archaeologist discovered the medal belonged to Private Nicholas Farnworth, a soldier who served with the East Lancashire Regiment during the First World War.
I suspect that what's happened is he's been Remembrance Sunday and maybe in a service there, and I think he's walked through the field with actually with his medal on, and he's either tripped or fell, or because the medal itself is not complete. It's only the circular part of the medal and not the holder.
There's still no picture of Nicholas, but after weeks of searching, Stephen managed to track down his great-niece Lisa and return the medal to her.
Here we go, Lisa. It's been really a pleasure to bring you this family heirloom. It's been hiding in the ground for quite some time, so...
It's an honour to be contacted. People like Stephen are giving us a lot back in terms of history, and particularly when it's people that have fought for us in war. So I'm thankful. Hopefully there may be other family which are more direct to Nicholas that may come forward.
Although what Nicholas looks like remains a mystery, Stephen's uncovered a piece of history that's helped bridge generations. Lucille Robbie, ITV News.
Yeah, good to see it back where it belongs. Well done, Stephen. Now let's take a look.
Brilliant. Well done, Stephen. Fantastic. And
yeah,
I think they're actually the media there. It's IT and ITV News got all the reports in the Northwest. I think they've actually spoke about the hobby well as well. The entire segment showed our hobby in a brilliant light.
It did. And I think that's, going back to Rodney Cook, £500,000 raised for cancer charities. You don't see that on BBC News, do you? And for Stephen to get something like that on the news in good light for the hobby, because all we hear of is the bad news. They love that, don't they, the media? So well done, Stephen. And thank you more than ever for sharing it with us on the Big Detecting Show.
Absolutely.
Yeah, top man, Stephen. Well done, and people in the chat are saying well done. So really good. Jules, you've been there and done that. You've repatriated many dog tags and things, haven't you?
Yeah, it's funny enough, my first ever find like that was the exact medal that Stephen's found. I thought it was a crown. Indeed, they were struck on crown dies, and then it had a knobble on the back, and I saw the writing, and I managed to trace the guy through a friend. Unfortunately, he died in 1938. He was very old when he got drafted in the First World War. He was nearly 40, which is exceptionally old. He was in sort of brickwork supplies and munition supplies, so I suppose age. But unfortunately, he died in 1938 of farmer's lung, and had a little boy who went out to Australia but never married, had no children, and died in 1986. So I thought, I researched a bit and I found sort of 18th cousins connected, and I thought, no, it's just too distant. I will go to children and cousins and uncles and things like that, but any further, I tend not normally to go. So I've still got that medal, and it takes pride of place. But with American dog tags, I was involved with the finding of 8, I think, in the last 2 years, and through Ian Walker and my German friend, whose name I can never remember, bless him, he'll kill me now. But between us 3, we got 6 of them repatriated back to the families. I put all articles in the magazine, but amazing thing was one of them sent a photograph, and it was the daughter of her dad at Great Sailing in the radio room, and you could see two dogs round his neck, and I thought, well, one of those a detectorist found. You know, he was probably playing baseball or something and swung round, lost it. The other one was really interesting because he was 21 years old and had led a low-level mission somewhere. Can't remember, not Ploesti, but on the equivalent. And for his bravery, the guy was 21 years old. He had one of the American generals, whose name slips me now, who didn't like being photographed. And I think there was only about 8 photographs of him known in the war. And this lady sent me a photograph of her dad receiving the medal, not Medal of Honor, but one below, by this general. And the boy's bolt upright, you know, he's 21 years old. And at Great Sailing, this general has turned up to give him this medal. And I thought, you know, absolutely unique. But again, with something like that, I don't think anybody can criticise the hobby or the role it plays at all. I've got probably the best part of 100 letters from children and families. I say children, they're all 80 years old now, having sent back bits of aircraft, you know, that their father was killed in or something like that. I've had people travel all over the world just to come into my storeroom in Braintree and just take a tiny little piece of twisted metal, but that's all, apart from a grave, what represents their dad, you know. And without metal detecting, I could never have done that. And, you know, I always take great humility from standing back from situations like that and thinking, you know, if but not for this scientific electronic instrument, I couldn't do that. You know,
No, it's true.
Simple as that. You know, and when you look at somebody's face, you know, who's given a part of the aircraft their father died in, you know, it becomes very emotional for you as well, not just for the recipient. You know, you think, wow, you know, this is absolutely amazing. But yeah, 6 out of 8 that we managed to get back to the families.
Stephen's just said that Chris Rogers, addicted to bleeps, did the video returning items, and he took that on board. So it's thanks to Chris that Stephen, I mean, Stephen probably would have done it anyway, but Chris has spurred him on to do it.
Yeah, that's good. Just before I forget, talking about Jules and his fines, not a lot of people know this, but if you go to YouTube and type in Treasure Hunting Magazine, there's fairly recently a YouTube channel that's been set up by the magazine, a bit behind the times, but aren't we all? And Jules has got some videos on there. Do you remember the videos you did, Jules, in your kitchen?
Yeah.
Showing all your finds?
I was talking to Lisa about those just yesterday.
Yeah, so if you go to YouTube, type in Treasure Hunting Magazine, subscribe, because there'll be more soon. There's some really
subscribe,
good
because there's only 11 subscribers at the minute.
Yeah, it's
so let's knock that one out of the park.
Yeah, so Treasure Hunting Magazine on YouTube. There's Jules's videos on there. I think there's episode 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah, I mean they didn't do bad on not YouTube, on Facebook. I put them up about 2 years ago. They got 25,000 hits.
Yeah, and I think the thing is, it's great. Facebook's great, but not everyone's on Facebook. And those guys who found the Braintree Hoard obviously aren't on Facebook, and that's why it went under the radar. So a lot of people are on YouTube. So if you go to Treasure Hunting Magazine on YouTube, Jules has got, I did it. There's 3 episodes there of.
I was just talking to Lisa, saying, "Oh, I really ought to get on Instagram or TikTok or YouTube."
It's on YouTube. TikTok. Oh gosh, you'll be blown away. It's blinking everyone in there in the world watching that. But yeah, go on the YouTube.
Thank you for doing that.
No, I thought I'd put them up there because. Like we were talking earlier,
14 subscribers now.
We're here. Whoa. It's getting there. Not a lot of people know about it, but it's a channel there, and it's
it's
nice
a good
videos
medium.
to watch.
Yeah, I mean,
and I'm going to do a video with you, Jules, because when me and you sit down and have a drink, and we talk about the hobby, there's stuff that is. I mean, people probably 50 years of detecting. You've been a field tester, the CTX. You were a field tester for,
Gosh,
and that's a revolutionary machine in the hobby, and we could just sit and chat about that and everything. So it's nice to share that with people. So
I think so. Yeah, I'd say my biggest epithet in this hobby is sharing information, and I say whether you put it in whatever magazine or national press, share it, because all too quickly your life can just change. And to be honest, that's when 5 years ago now, bloody hell, when I had my heart attack.
16, we're going up. You're nearly double.
Geezer. That put life into context for me. And I'd always been toying with doing an autobiography, but I didn't want to, my life isn't actually that bloody interesting. So I thought, but my detecting side of it, I've been invited by the King of Jordan to go and detect in the deserts and dug up a Zeppelin. I thought, there's something to tell here. So with the autobiography, it is a bit. I'll tell you about a few exploits at boarding school, and then I lead into my first detector in 1972. And then I just, I've listened to thousands of people in 52 years. So it's their autobiography as well, because there's things they've said to me, and I thought, you know what, you're so right. That's the way I think it should be, but sharing is the greatest thing I think you can ever do.
Yeah, I totally agree, Jules. And I think sharing it with as many people as possible.
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. Sorry, there's a badger just turned
up.
Oh, yeah,
cool.
Yeah, badger in the room.
18.
Oh,
going viral.
So,
there'll be more videos on this soon. Magazine on YouTube.
What?
Thank you, Derek Sherwin.
You went all muffled then. Well, listen, Julian, it's an honour as ever to have you on the show. Sadly, obviously, Gary came on and we didn't get a word in edgeways. Thanks to John, as ever. Lisa come just rambling and
the way it should be, mate. Random. Just good banter.
Yeah.
So again, thank you as ever for joining us. We love having you on the show.
Real pleasure.
As I've said to you 1,000 times before, I wish I lived closer so I could actually come and sit with you and tell me the things that you haven't put in your book.
I'm very, very fortunate to be friends with that bloke. Have a beer with him now.
Believe you me, mate, it's two-way. It's really two-way.
We could talk all day about that day we went detecting in, was it Epping? And Jules moved about 10 foot all day, but was digging stuff all
didn't
day.
It just kick off, didn't it?
Oh, just the pennies we found. Yeah, it was Alan. That's another story. But the pub. Yeah, that
you're
was
up
good
to 20. 20.
It's looking good. This is looking good, guys.
Right.
Thank you very much.
Thanks again to Julian. We'll be back with you same time, same
everybody.
place next week. If you're listening on the podcast, don't forget to come back and join us. All the episodes are currently up to date. And again, thanks to Stephen Brain for sending that video in. And for Gary, John, and he's gone.
I reckon he needs
a wee or a poo.
Or a poo. Might need a poo. Not like a Tony Kaywood poo under a
white one. I think he was eating raw meat with bones.
It might be white because remember the amount of empty Winnie the Pooh talc things. He might have been eating the talc.
But I think Donna said he was eating a lot of mash because there was a lot of mash spilt or something like mash all up the walls.
And it went all hard like concrete. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a pleasure as ever. And we will see. What video do I usually have to see with? I can't remember.
I haven't done Adrian's
Wall. Never mind. Dog needs a
same time, same place with Adrian's Wall and the dog having a wee. And don't forget, if you want to read more about the Braintree Horde, go to archmdmag.com and you will find it on the main page there. Have a good week, everyone. Love you all.
Good luck detecting.
And that. Bye-bye.